the Badlands. I am about to bring you into probably one of the more, I don't know, interesting national parks. There's so many beautiful national parks in America, but this one here, the Badlands, you know, I cannot say that I've never been here before because my family took a road trip across America when I was maybe about this tall or something, I don't remember. So maybe I've been to the Badlands before, I don't know, but nonetheless, I don't remember being here. And that's what's important. So I'm going to the Badlands, I'm gonna bring you along. I don't know too much about the Badlands. I know it's an area that has a lot of really interesting rock formations and what have you. So with that being said, let's go check out the Badlands. Just inside the park entrance, off to the right, is a gravel road, and this would be Butte Overlook here. So look at the Badlands. Really is quite something when you look down there. It's just you know, not a whole heck of a lot down there. Just looks like a lot of rock. So maybe they call it the Badlands because you get lost in here, and not a good thing. It'd be a bad thing. So there is the Butte Overlook right there. So the park, when we come in, it's about $40 to come in, but if you buy an annual pass for all the national parks, it costs you $80. And with the $80 pass, you get into all the parks across the country. So I opted for the $80 option. And it's about a 35-mile road trip. Yeah, it's just go through the road, take the Scenic drive along through the national park, and maybe see some buffalo and some other wildlife as well. But here we are. So we're going to maybe go down and take a picture right down there, and we'll see. We found our way to another overlook here, just down the road, and it's all. There's some
longhorn sheep over here, about 5 or 6 of them over there.
Gentleman's pointing out some longhorn sheep that are just sitting along the rock over there. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit on them. Let's see. There you can see them just chilling out over on the rocks. I guess that's what they call. Oh. We found our way just up the road from where we were, and a gentleman was kind enough to point out some longhorn sheep that are just sitting there chilling out on a warm summer afternoon, just kind of relaxing. So it's nice to be able to see some wildlife here, and it really is a sight to behold. Badlands. I don't know if people do hiking here or not, but give you a nice view looking down. There's your view looking down. What a sight. I found my way a little bit closer to these I guess they're mountain, I don't know, mountain goats or something. But look at that. There they are, just kind of chilling. I can only imagine what they eat and where they go to get water. But pretty interesting for sure. I don't know that they'd have a whole heck of a lot of predators out here. All right, so here's what you'd see if you were driving down the road here with us. Yanae is sitting over there doing her Spanish narration, and I'm doing my English narration. But you are. It is rather an interesting drive for sure to go through these I don't know, rock formations, if you will. So you can see just up to the right. Gives you a real good idea as to what it would be like if you were here along the drive with us. Really is something else. This is just one of, I think, several national parks. I think we've already been to, well, we've been to 2 national parks. We went to Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park, and we went to Painted Rock National Seashore. So, kind of nice as we drive along, you'll see a scattering of green amongst the, contrasting the brown. Yet another stop here in the Badlands, and just off in the distance you can see what is we just a spot here called Yellow Mound Overlook, where we just were. Some well, as the name would imply, yellow mounds. Maybe I can zoom in just a little bit. There you have it, Yellow Mound Overlook. Really is a sight to behold for sure. Looks like something that you would see on Mars or something like that. All right, here's a pretty cool view. We're probably toward the getting toward the end of the travel here through the the Badlands National Park, and you can hear the Spanish narration off to my right. But I wanted to take a moment and show you this. Pretty cool. As you go through the west of the United States, you know, the Utah and New Mexico, Arizona, you're going to see a lot of formations like this. American West. I'm going to let you soak up the view as I drive along. For those of you that speak Spanish, maybe you can understand what she's saying in the passenger seat. There you go. There's some cool formations right there as well. We came upon this pretty cool stop here. I find myself wanting to speed up my passage through the park, and for time's sake, because I've got a schedule today and didn't really allocate a lot of time to the Badlands. Probably should have allocated more time, but I see this spot right here, and it's just too resisting not to take a stop and bring you along. It almost sounds, it almost seems like you're on a another planet as you walk through here. So they right over here, there's some information about the area here. I can show you a little bit. It says as you look at this here, it says the bands of time. So down at the bottom, Pierre Shale, 67 to 75 million years ago. Yellow Mounds, 67 years ago. Shadron Formation, Brule Formation. So there you have your different formations of the rocks. No. And then come out this way. This is telling you a 75 million year walk right here. And then there's some fossil exhibit trail. You can take a fossil exhibit trail, but I'm gonna kind of walk along. And they've got some sign here that says, "Warning, beware rattlesnakes." So you got to be cautious of rattlesnakes out here. Interestingly enough, I don't know if Yanae will catch that. And it says, "Under the sea, ammonite fossils found in the park are evidence that this area was underwater 75 million years ago." Look at this. It really is like you're on another planet. Titanic discovery, it's talking about. The discovery of this specimen led to the golden age of paleontology in North America. You can see right here. Look at that. Really is something else. Here's a see you later alligator. Prehistoric alligators lived in swampy conditions as they do today. There's a, it says alligators were common in this area. Really is something else. What an opportunity it is to take a road trip like this again. When I was a young child, I was one of 10 children. And give a shout out to my mother back in Cleveland, Ohio, who, along with my father, raised us 10 kids. And they lived on a shoestring budget, if you will. I don't know if it was a shoestring budget, but certainly on a budget raising 10 children. My dad was a mechanical engineer, and I think the most he ever made in one year was about $35,000 to $40,000, raising 10 kids. Well, one year we had an invitation to join our relatives from California at a place called Fish Lake in Utah, and Mom and Dad packed 7 or 8 of us children in the car. It might have even been 9 of us or something, but it was a station wagon, and we just packed in that car. We had all our stuff up on the top of the car, and we headed west out of Cleveland, Ohio. I believe the time of the year was August, and we headed out to Fish Lake to meet the Sawhill gang, and in doing so, we traveled all the way across the country, and I can't remember if we stopped in the Badlands or not, but if we did, I'm sure it was a great experience for the whole family. So I'm gonna keep going on. This right here is interesting. It says reading the rocks. It says Sharps Formation. The peaks and pinnacles of the highest rocks are part of the 28 to 38 million-year-old Sharps Foundation. Ancient rivers deposited coarse sands and silts. Ash from distant erupting volcanoes blew across the landscape. These sediments and the fossils found in the formation are evidence of the cool, dry climate. Many of the same animals from the older Brule Formation remain. Really, really something else. So let's get on with the tour. We're gonna hit Mount Rushmore today. All right, just on my way to the parking lot is this last exhibit here, and this would be a Orodont fossils are common in the Badlands National Park, but it is rare to find a nearly complete specimen like this one here. They resemble sheep or pigs, but they're not related. And coming out of that last stop here, look at the view here. Wow. Really is spectacular. Even more spectacular scenery as we just continue along. We're on Route 240. If you're to look on Google Maps, Route 240, and we're not too far from actually exiting the park. Probably about another few miles, and we'll be coming out of the park and on our way to the Black, I think it's called the Black Hills, if I'm not mistaken. All right, where some people might start their trip here to the Badlands National Park at the Visitor Center, I'm actually ending it. And as you walk in, look at this little outfit you see, a little ranger outfit for a little guy. Really cute. So this would be the Badlands Visitor Center if you were to come in. We got all types of things you can buy: souvenirs, postcards, t-shirts, all types of stuff. So hope you enjoyed this tour to
to the Badlands. You know, there's probably once a day that I would have gotten my dad a coffee cup were he here, but really something else. Maybe I should get one of these little stickers to put on my on my camper. That wouldn't be a bad idea. So have a great day, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I think I spoke too soon when I said I hope you enjoyed the tour. This is just around the corner from the bookstore. Here is the information or displays, exhibits, if you will, about the Badlands, and here you can see an overlay of how they look here. There's Janae doing her video. She really is having a lot of fun doing the videos here. I don't know what I created. There's a representation of how this area was formed. You see the Badlands National Park. It's a dinosaur bone, a fossil. This is what it might have looked like years ago. So I'm looking at this, I'm thinking that the latest Jurassic Park is out. And I'll be going to see that here before too long. There's this here. So this would be like a mud pit right here.
Right? Oh my goodness.
That's the head.
Little horse. Almost looks like a little horse. Actually, a very nice exhibit to sheep that you might see. There's the buffalo. These buffaloes can be pretty mean animals if you get too close. Here's an exhibit showing some of the Native Americans. Look at that. There's a mammoth. Not sure if this is the mammoth tooth. A mammoth bone cleaver. Look at that. Look at that there. The first Europeans to encounter the Badlands were French trappers who struggled across Les Malvaisas Terres Badlands during the first half of the 18th century.
It takes 20 to 30 acres per cow in this area, depending on how many badlands are in your pasture.
There's another
You have to really
fossil.
watch your numbers with the grasses, how the grasses are being grazed. You have to take care of them.
And now this would take us back out to the bookstore. So now I can say I hope you enjoyed the tour of the Badlands National Park.